Okay, so my project was on opiate policy. We're going to look at past policies, policies that have been implemented recently, and then what we might be able to do in the future. Um, right now, the opioid problem has been called an epidemic. It is a problem that just seems to be getting worse. Opioid deaths have increased sixfold since 2000. As you can see, in 1999, we have under 10,000 deaths by opioids per year. And in 2016, it's over 40,000. In fact, the 2017 numbers have come in and it's over 60,000 in 2017. So it's only getting worse. Opioids are contributing now to 2/3 of all drug deaths, and new, really unpredictable and highly potent opioids like fentanyl are becoming more and more popular. And it just seems to be accelerating at an amazingly incredible rate. So opioids rose to prominence in the 1990s when pharmaceutical companies began pushing extended release opioids. These were intended to be non-addictive. So previously, you couldn't really treat pain outside of a hospital, and looking for ways to treat that pain more effectively, these opioids were invented. Instead of being used the way they were supposed to be in a non-addictive way, they did create addictions and began to be crushed up and snorted, or just taken in excess of what was prescribed. There have been a lot of different measures to create abuse-resistant opioids, such as making them like crush-resistant, but all of these have proven generally ineffective. And right now, 35% of all opioid overdoses are from prescription pills. That doesn't even include people who began on prescription pills and then moved into illicit drugs like heroin. So the number of overdoses that have prescription pills involved in them in one way or another, directly or indirectly, is actually much higher. The reason things are getting worse and worse is because of new, more potent opioids. So fentanyl, for example, is a synthetic opioid. It's 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine. It has become so popular because it's cheap to produce and it's easy to transport. There was recently a huge drug bust on just 24 pounds of fentanyl. Inside of those 24 pounds were over 5 million lethal doses. Because it's synthetic and produced illicitly, it's highly unpredictable. You could take one pill and be fine, or you could take a pill and overdose because you don't know how potent it is. It's often cut with heroin and other opioids, which makes it even more unpredictable. Narcan has been something that's come onto the market somewhat recently. And what it's able to do is go in and, when someone's having an overdose, take that, take all the opioid receptors and have them occupied instead with that Narcan instead of the opioid that's someone has overdosed with. So if you saw this, you would see someone in cardiac arrest, not breathing, and you give them Narcan and they look like they've been brought back to life. This does present a moral hazard, however, because people are more likely to be more reckless with drugs, knowing that Narcan is there to save them. So there's not actually any substantial evidence that Narcan is saving lives in the long run. So here are some things that I want to do on top of what's already been implemented. Things that have already been implemented are looking at more robust data collection, so we know the places that are suffering the most, as well as funding pharmaceutical companies to create more abuse-resistant pills, which doesn't seem like it will be all that effective. It's never been effective in the past. Instead, the best way to go is a three-part solution. First, education. preemptively before people get introduced to these drugs. That is one thing that has recently been a lot better, because more and more people know about this epidemic and know the dangers of opioids. Number two is having doctors prescribe more non-opioid pain relief. This needs to be a very gradual transition, because if it goes too fast, we risk not effectively and comprehensively treating pain. And that goes against medical moral practice. And the third thing is reforming the criminal justice system. Right now, we have a lot of people that come out of the criminal justice system, come out of jail with the same problems that they went in with. And we would benefit from being able to correctly identify people who need rehabilitation, and then providing them that robust rehabilitation. It sounds like it wouldn't be cost effective, but it is more cost effective to treat someone once than to have high recidivism rates and have them coming back again and again and again. So by using these three policies, I think that we can effectively, if not eliminate the opioid epidemic, get it under control more so than it is now. Thank you very much. That will be all.